What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, I got some transmission parts. Time to do a service on the transmission because I looked in my driveway and I seen this, and I definitely don't want my driveway to turn into this. So I figure while I'm at it, I might as well replace the transmission servo with an upgraded Corvette servo. Supposedly it's supposed to firm up second gear and also improve shifting between second and third gear. I have my doubts, but I'll install it and see. As you can see, my fluid is nice and clean. This transmission is actually only 6 months old. I just put in a rebuilt transmission, so the fluid's pretty clean, but I did develop a leak at the pan, so that's why I have to drain it, because I have to drop the pan. Side point, if you're looking at my calipers and you notice they're not painted in the back, that's because you can't see it from the front, and I felt like it was pointless, but it still looks really good from the front. So right here, as you can see, all the fasteners are out, everything's out of the way, and I'm ready to pull the pan down, and I'm trying to figure out how come the pan doesn't want to come down. I've dropped this pan before, not only on my vehicle, but on plenty of other vehicles. So I'm trying to figure out why isn't this pan coming down. Then finally it dawned on me that this exhaust is different. It's an aftermarket exhaust, and this is the kind of stuff you got to deal with anytime you put aftermarket stuff on. That crossover pipe or the Y pipe, it sits up a lot higher than the original GM exhaust. So I didn't show it on the video, but I ended up having to drop the exhaust to get the pan down. Okay, so the pan is out of the way. Now I need to remove this heat shield. Behind this heat shield is where the transmission servo sits. So once I get this heat shield off, it'll give me access to be able to remove the servo. So if you're interested in replacing your servo for an upgraded servo on your 4L60E transmission, there are some videos out there in YouTube. It's not too difficult to replace, so you probably could find like a how-to video on how to do it, because this video is not really a how-to video. It's just documenting my experience doing some service on my 2003 Tahoe. So I got my servo in, then that heat shield out the way. You can see got the new Corvette servo in. Go ahead and bend that heat shield back. I'm almost done, but I noticed I couldn't get a bolt in here, so the bolt was loose, just kept spinning. That's pretty evident why I had a transmission pan leak. If you look, there's no threads right here. I put my pick in here and you can see it's smooth, 0 threads in here. So it was stripped out, which is kind of a annoyance, being that I just bought this transmission. I don't want to say any names of where I got it, but this is how it came. So I have to deal with this. But if you look, I may have lucked out. There's some threads way up here at the top. So what I'm going to try to do is find a bolt that'll grab those threads up top, and it may be enough threads to put some pressure on this pan right here. So
I'm gonna try that before I put a thread repair kit in there.
So I went digging around in my bolt can and I found a pretty good replacement. It's longer and it also has a bit of a lock washer there. So I think it's long enough to be able to grab those threads at the top, and with the little lock washer right there on it, it should apply a nice amount of pressure in that corner of the transmission pan. So I lucked out there and found this bolt. Time to fill it up. I got a gallon in there. It's time to start it, but the battery is completely dead. Man, I hope this thing will jump it. I haven't charged it in a long time. It's probably been at least 6 months since I used it or charged it. All right, we'll see. Oh, completely dead. Try to use my little travel emergency jump pad. This one might do it. While the transmission's warming up, I'm gonna see if I can solder back on this broken defrost tab. I do have one of these things, but there's some dry time involved, usually like 24 hours. It says it dries sooner than that, but I've used these before on customers' vehicles, and to wait a full day before I give it back to the customer, I've always had the best results to let it cure like overnight. And I really don't want to wait that long, so I'm going to see if I can solder it back on. So I built up some solder on this, so now I'm gonna put a little bit of flux up here, and then I'll heat it up and see if it sticks. Just like that. And here's a close-up of the end result. It's not the prettiest, but it's pretty strong and it'll hold, so I'm happy with that. So this thing was sitting for a while. So not only did I had to give it a jump, but I also had to wash it up. It accumulated quite a bit of dust from sitting for a while. So I got it cleaned up. It's looking good. The Corvette Servo has that second to third gear shifting a lot faster. So no leaks. Everything is good to go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.